Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around the world, we're back at it with Nick Canny. YouTube's Darkest Videos, Part 9. The Westago train encounter. That's in Texas. Well,
Ladies and gentlemen, we're now arriving our Wasco station stop.
I'm locked.
On the morning of March 22nd, 2024, the Kern County Sheriff's Office was flooded with calls about an incident that had taken place near the Wasco Amtrak station in Wasco, California. The incident involved a pedestrian who was
I'm an idiot then. I thought I said Westago. Westco. I think I read it wrong, but I think I was thinking of another city. That's my bad. Chicago, right?
Wasco Amtrak station in Wasco, California.
California,
The
my
incident
bad.
involved a pedestrian who was reportedly walking dangerously close to an active train track before being struck by an oncoming locomotive, a situation that authorities knew was likely unsurvivable. Police arrived at the scene shortly after 8 a.m. and were met with the bloody aftermath of the accident, as they found 48-year-old Horacio Ayala Penosa deceased on the tracks, with the force of the impact being so strong that his body was torn apart and scattered all throughout the area. At first, it was believed.
Is that instant death? What do you guys think? Getting hit by a train, is that instant death? Cause like the train's going so fast. A train, like, I think it goes faster than bullet. No, it does not. That's a lie. I feel like it's almost as fast as a bullet, if not close to it. But like that's like 100-ton steel just running straight to you. Like I don't think your puny little body could survive that. Well, obviously you can't, but like I feel like it's instant death. No pain, no nothing. All right, so I guess we could say that he didn't have pain. Hopefully.
Have been a clear-cut suicide. But after interviewing some of the witnesses, police learned that the man had never stepped in front of the train, and rather he had actually been sucked underneath as a result of walking too closely, painting a clearer picture that this was all a tragic accident.
Oh.
But as police were conducting these interviews, one strange detail kept
I thought this was gonna be a case of,
coming up, as apparently Horatio wasn't the only one on the tracks around the time of the incident, with there allegedly having been one other man standing nearby, a man who took off shortly after Horatio had been killed. And strangely, witnesses believe they saw the man reach down and pick something up before leaving. For the officers on the scene, finding this man
Let me guess, he dropped his phone and was trying to pick it up. Oh my god.
became the next obvious order of business. But by this point, he had already found himself a few blocks away, where he was spotted by a group of construction workers. The group watched as the man walked towards them, appearing to hold some sort of large item in one of his hands, the same item that had been taken from the train tracks. And the closer he got, the clearer it became what exactly this thing was.
What?
It was a human leg.
Huh? Was recorded by one of the construction workers at the scene. What? Yo, the plot thickens? Oh, he's holding a leg.
For some inexplicable reason, when the train had dismembered Horatio, this man had run over and picked up his leg, and he was now waving.
Oh! What? Wait, what? Why? Huh? I thought, okay, wait. I was getting the story way confused. I thought we were talking about the guy that got ran over, that he was holding a leg and that's what he dropped. That's what I thought was happening. No. It's the guy's leg the guy that got, oh my god, who are you?
That leg on the sidewalk of a nearby road, with the construction crew claiming that he had been banging it against the fence as he walked towards them, and at one point had even struck the leg against one of their machines. Upon the realization, a wave of fear washed over the group, as they were unsure what this man had done to get this leg, or what he would do next, though that was something that even the wildest of imaginations could have never predicted.
What the fuck? Yo, this cannot be a case of it being an intrusive thought. Because how are you gonna have an intrusive thought of eating a leg? Oh, hey, you know, that man just got ran over by a train. Ooh, there's a fresh leg. I wonder how it tastes. Get a little nibble. Like, what are we talking about, bro?
As the man looked down at the leg and began eating it, as the workers watched on in horror. Officers arrived on the scene immediately after this, and when they asked the man what he was doing with the leg, he explained that it belonged to him, and that he was taking it to a nearby hospital to have it reattached. But it was obvious to everyone there that this man wasn't missing any of his legs, with the officers having to go as far as to prove it to him by making him roll up the sleeves of his pants and touch both of his legs. His explanation was completely nonsensical, and obviously didn't account for the fact that he was literally eating the leg just minutes before,
just raw,
leading to officers immediately.
No, it's even crazier because it's raw. Like, ew? You're having all the blood on you? That's nasty, bro. Get a napkin.
Placing him under arrest. His name was Rosendo Tejas, a 27-year-old man who had been experiencing homelessness and had been living on a street near the train tracks, with police determining that he did in fact have nothing to do with the actual death of Horatio. He just so happened to be near the tracks at the time, where he would first witness the accident, and then, for some unknown reason, take Horatio's leg and start eating it. It appears as though this was the...
I think being out there for so long, he just saw a body and just... Like, I think he just saw someone die and just, like, fully lost it. Like, trauma just hit him. Like, I don't know, man. People get crazy. I don't know.
Result of a combination of both drugs and alcohol, as he was found carrying narcotics when he was taken into custody, and he had just been captured by security cameras purchasing alcohol at a nearby liquor store just hours before the...
Never mind, I thought this man was a good man. Nope, never mind, this man's a draggy. I'm kidding. But this man has a little bit of problems, alright? Go rehab.
Incident. But what's so interesting about this footage is just how normal Rosendo seems. In fact, the people working there knew him quite well, as he stopped in almost daily, where he was described as being polite and ordinary, including on the day of that incident. In fact, it said that at first, the shop owners didn't believe that Rosendo could have possibly done this. But it seems that whatever substances he had taken that day had changed him.
He was geeking then, bro. He was geeking on the geek bar, bro.
Rosendo Tejas was charged with 2 counts of removal of human remains, and 1 count of destroying or concealing evidence, as well as resisting a police officer, and was sentenced to 1 year in prison after pleading no contest, bringing this absurd case to an end. However, his unsettling behavior will forever live on in one of YouTube's darkest videos.
A year for eating someone's leg? A dead man's leg.
Include mischief.
Darkest videos. 9. Oh, part 9. Good. I think chapter 2 watched. I don't like feeling
It was
watched.
just past 10 p.m.
You know?
Safely tucked away in her second-story apartment, 20-year-old Hannah...
Stop. Okay, wait. Okay. We're gonna let it run. Let me guess. Someone was using binoculars and spying on her on the window on the 2nd floor. I'm guessing that already.
Vivaretti set up her phone to record a video of herself dancing.
I don't know anything. With Nick Candy, it could literally be anything. We just saw a man get run over on a train and then a man started eating his leg. Like, what are we talking about?
For her, this was a meditative practice, a way of unwinding after a long, stressful day, and to truly feel at peace. But that day, fate had other plans. As Hannah was dancing, something off camera caused her to stop dead in her tracks and yell, "Who are you?" It was a man whom Hannah had never seen before, standing in the doorway of her balcony, which again was on the 2nd floor, meaning that man had climbed up, cracked open the door, and was now standing in her home staring at her, quietly muttering nonsensically with a big grin on his face.
Who are you? Who are you? Please get off.
Hannah stopped the music and again asked, "Who are you?" To which the man responded by saying,
"Please get out." No, please get out. Yes.
But her demeanor and the panic in her voice made it all too clear that this was far from the case.
Who are you? Please get out of my
Where's the video?
apartment.
Let me see him. Come on, bro.
She
You
started
got
to
a
make her way
camera.
over to her phone and then towards the front door. All the while, the man kept
Bro, I know damn well you was at least thinking of some type of likes, bro. I knew you was like, Wait, I could deadass get a little bit of likes with this. Hold on, let me get a screenshot with his face.
Only
Like, bro,
insisting
come
that they be
on.
friends, but Hannah was having none of it,
Please get out of my apartment right now.
Damn, let me
opening her
see.
front door and in the process,
Get out. Get out.
Oh, we saw him.
pointing the
There we
camera
go.
directly at the intruder, giving us our first and only glimpse of the man as he's standing
Only?
still
Oh,
in the
damn.
balcony doorway. And with her front door now open,
Damn.
she yelled at him to get out, loud enough for the neighbors to hear.
This is there.
Get out.
Which finally caused the man to retreat.
And he just
But as
climbed
it
back
turns
down
out,
or
Hannah
what?
did actually know who this man was, at least vaguely, as he lived in the same apartment complex, but he never actually spoke to her. He would always
Oh my god. Oh my god, it's a secret admirer.
just stare and smile, making it apparent that he had some sort of sick interest in her.
Oh, hell nah.
As for why he entered her home that night, it's fairly obvious that his intentions were incredibly sinister, with Hannah recalling that during the entire experience, his hands never left his hoodie pocket, making her wonder if he was holding onto some sort of weapon that he may have been planning to use on her. But thankfully, because of her swift reaction, we'll never truly know what he had planned that night. Days after the incident, police would arrest 36-year-old
shit.
Angel Moses Rodriguez
You got it.
Gomez and charge him with stalking, second-degree assault,
Ooh,
third and fourth-degree
ooh,
burglary,
damn.
and malicious destruction of property. But
Got him
surprisingly,
with
shortly
3
after
heads,
his
4.
arrest, they allowed him to walk free on bail. And given that he lived in the same apartment complex as Hannah, and clearly knew where she lived, this decision was incredibly controversial, with
Yeah.
Hannah herself stating in an interview that, "I just don't think it's fair that he's walking freely right now, and I have to watch my back at every angle." Thankfully, the court's decision would not lead to any further escalations in the case, and today Angel no longer lives in the country, but the footage is incredibly chilling nonetheless, and it sent me down a rabbit hole of home invasion videos late the other night. And here on YouTube, I came across countless unsettling examples.
Oh no, we're gonna get.
One such example comes from Saratov, Russia, and shows a woman moments after being awoken by the sound of knocking as she lay in bed in her apartment. It was around 4:30 a.m., which was already unusual enough, but things became downright horrifying for her when she realized that the knocking wasn't coming from the door, it was coming from the window.
Yo, stop, because I just heard something outside. It's probably the cats. I got cat. Stop.
Outside of her window was a man banging his head
What the fuck? Holy shit, this is the crackhead of the year. Yo, this is gonna be the thumbnail. Stop! This man's geeking! Yo, what are we doing?
against the glass over and over again. And equally as disturbing, this woman's unit wasn't on the first floor. She was 2 stories up, and she
Again with the two. How are these people getting on people's balcony? How and why?
didn't have a balcony. Across the street, a neighbor filmed the
What the
incident as it happened, showing us that the man
No wonder Nick County was taking a while to make a video. Bro was finding peak. How do you explain this? How, he fucking did parkour or what? What the fuck?
was standing on one of the building's gas pipes while he continued to strike the window. Eventually, these hits grew so forceful that the glass started to break, and his head began bleeding profusely, finally leading
Oh
to the
no,
man
he was
stopping,
definitely on something.
but not in the pursuit of entering the home.
Еще.
У него пена изо рта.
Слушай, это у дурачка пена изо рта, мне бешенство или что? Ну, бля, попей мочи, иди отсюда уже.
As he instead climbed to a different window where he attempted to peel it open with his fingers.
What
But by
the
this point, police had already arrived on the scene, and
Oh,
eventually the
shit.
man would be forced down and placed under arrest.
Thank you. Thank you.
When looking for an explanation
Please.
as to why this man was
That's
doing this,
crazy.
it appears that he was under the influence of bath salts during the ordeal.
Oh,
But aside from this,
shit.
I couldn't find any other information about the man's identity,
Man
or
was
whatever became of him.
tweaking.
But I was able to find
Oh,
that
some
this
bath
clip
salt.
doesn't tell the entire story, as the woman behind the camera actually spoke to a local reporter and provided additional context to
Oh,
the
shit.
ordeal. which only made the story more terrifying.
Ooh,
At first, he knocked with his hands. Then he began to peck at me at the window with his head for an hour and a half without stopping. After that, he started shouting my name to the whole yard. He was foaming at the mouth. His whole face was covered in blood, and he shouted that he wanted to talk to me, and he needed me. With the most terrifying part of the statement being that she had no idea who this man was, or how he could have even known her name.
Her name?
The idea of both of these intruder videos featuring people whom the victims had never even spoken to makes them especially unsettling, as it shows that you really never know who's watching and who might be obsessing over you.
That's crazy.
But incidents like this can be
Oh,
equally
that's scary. I don't like that. Stop. Who's obsessing over you? Never. Oh, stop, shut up, shut up.
as chilling when
That's
the intruder
scary.
is someone
I
that
like
you
that.
do know. Mohammed Amana
Wait,
was
what?
equally as chilling when the intruder is someone that you do know.
Oh shit.
Mohammed Amana was a 26-year-old man living in Orafur, Sweden, and had been dating a woman named Maria. But after several run-ins with the law, Mohammed's lifestyle just became too much for her.
my bad,
To
hold on.
Maria. But after several run-ins with the law, Mohammed's lifestyle just became too much for her, and she eventually decided to end the relationship. This caused Mohammed to become enraged,
Damn.
an emotion that was only further heightened when he discovered that she was staying with a male friend of theirs. And on the 25th of May, he would show up at his doorstep and ask to speak to Maria.
Oh my god.
Inside, the male friend and Maria both refused to let him in and told him to leave. And for a moment, he did, though only temporarily, as he would return minutes later, this time armed with a ladder. And noticing what he was trying to do, the homeowner
Armed with
began
a ladder.
recording on his cell phone.
En stege. En stege.
Oh, wait, what are you saying? What? What are you trying to do?
The man behind the camera asks, "What are you doing? Are you going to fight me?" To which Mohammed said no, he just wanted to speak to Maria.
Tror du kommer upp här? Tror du kommer upp här? Nej, wallah.
As he said this, his demeanor was unsettlingly calm as he continues making his way up the ladder.
Mohammed, du kommer inte upp här. Du kommer inte in i mitt hem. Du kommer inte in i mitt hem, Mohammed.
With his demeanor being so calm that the cameraman couldn't tell if Mohammed was a threat or not, though it wouldn't take long for him to get his answer.
Du kommer inte in i mitt hem. Därför hon... Han högg mig med en kniv, Maria. Han högg mig med en kniv.
In an instant, Mohammed
Damn.
struck the cameraman, causing him to retreat into his room,
The cameraman
closing
got
the sliding
beat up.
glass door just in time for Mohammed to step on the balcony and brandish a large kitchen knife.
Oh shit.
Köttkniv. Såg ni det? Du, han krossar glaset med en sten.
Oh shit.
Still dazed by the attack, the man holding the camera retreated even further into the house. and
Cameraman!
Maria had already run into the bathroom
He better hold on to that camera. That camera is gonna save his life, hopefully. Please let the cameraman live.
and locked the door behind her. A door that Mohammed
Oh my
would
god,
quickly
where's the girl?
rush over to.
Mohammed. Släpp in mig på dassen, han kommer in. Han kommer in, Maria. Mohammed, hugg du. Mohammed. Mohammed, du högg mig redan.
And desperately tried to open, even trying to use his knife to turn the lock, as that lock was the only thing standing in the way of what he was there to do. What exactly that was is unknown, as police would manage to arrive on the scene within minutes of this footage being taken, where they would arrest Mohammed
Oh,
before
thank
he was
God.
able to get to Maria. But it's clear based on the fact that he had a weapon on him and his desperate attempt to breach the house that he didn't just want to have a conversation. In the end,
He
the
was
man
going
filming
super
was left with
fast.
only minor cuts. Mohammed was sentenced to 2 years in prison as well as a 10-year ban from the country of Sweden, leaving us
Damn.
with 3 haunting videos of 3 disturbed intruders whose true intentions will thankfully never be known.
Damn, bro.
.com.
Alright, we're back. The story of Noah what?
Alright, hey folks, this is
Hartberg?
Noah, getting my blog live.
Harpan?
Trucks and trucks and lots of trucks.
This is the very first footage that Noah Harpone would post to YouTube.
Harpone.
After years of having a channel, Noah finally decided to give uploading a try, posting this inaugural video to a self-titled channel on October 29th, 2015, titling it 102915, video blog number 1, and introducing himself to the platform with a simple "Hello world" in the description.
No, but I did want to dissect just the beginning of a sermon given by a Pastor Bill, a guy that my dad has been following, taking ideas from for 10 years at least. He and his family, 2 kids.
In the video, Harpham paces throughout his home and discusses a priest named Pastor Bill, whom he believed was influencing his father and his family, and clearly not in a good way.
I've been ignorant of it for a long time, so I wanted to look at it, and I challenged him just to look at 15 minutes of this sermon.
Though he gives no context as to who this pastor is, only mentioning that he had been ignorant of the situation for a while, and that this video was his response after trying to expose the truth to his father.
Been waiting and waiting, and haven't heard anything. So I was going to just post my reply, and I guess that's how I'll start my blog.
Again, what this truth is unclear, as the lack of information makes this video a confusing watch, and ultimately it tells us very little about who Noah was, let alone the other people he was discussing. But he did end the clip by making it clear that this was only the beginning of what would be a reoccurring blog series that would showcase just him, his thoughts, and his camera.
The blog is just going to be me with a video camera, and that'll be it. We'll see what happens.
But before those uploads would come, Noah had pinned a website in his description that directed users to a blog post written by him that same day, titled, "Is my dad in a cult? Even worse, is it satanic?" Throughout the writing, Harpham loosely provides additional context for his video, as he breaks down a sermon given by Pastor Bill, who is shown to be Bill Johnson, a well-known preacher from the Bethel Church in Redding, California, who had garnered a large following online. And despite the sermon being over an hour long, Harpham goes through it point by point, critiquing everything that he said. And the more he typed, the more angry he got. And the more angry he got, the more nonsensical his words became. I'm attempting to present a case that shows the leader of this prestigious institution, along with a select group of rulers, are using mind control techniques to poison and confuse legions of useful idiots that slave away to keep the institution humming along, and that this man, Pastor Bill Johnson, and his ruling caste are using mind control to keep people imbalanced and ignorant, in a state of perpetual waiting for the material world to be defied, while they themselves are profiting immensely in this material world. The blog gives us a peek behind the curtain of the man shown in this video, a man who seems to be clearly mentally
yeah, I was about to say, it's just another case of a man just slowly deteriorating, and we're just watching it.
well, paranoid and very angry, with the post making it clear that the purpose of Noah's content was to bring this pastor down, and video blog number 1 was supposed to be just the start. However, there would never be a video blog number 2, as just 2 days after posting this video, Noah's life would take a drastic turn.
Oh shit.
Colorado Springs 911, what's the exact location of your emergency?
It's at...
Repeat that one more time for me and make sure I have it correct.
Well, it's across the street from me. I'm calling from my address.
Tell me exactly what happened.
Well, there was a guy walking around with like 2 cans of gasoline or something, 2 small cans, and a big, like a rifle. It was black, and it had a strap around it. He's walking up to doors and stuff.
At 8:35 a.m. on Halloween morning, a woman named Naomi Bettis called 911 after witnessing a suspicious man walking around her neighborhood in Colorado Springs, as she watched him carrying several cans of gas, as well as an AR-15 that was hung over his shoulder. She didn't know it at the time, but this man was her neighbor, Noah Harpham.
And then I seen that he walked into the building, and the glass window at that business is broke.
And that's a business? What's the name of the business?
I have no idea, but I just know it's, I don't know if it's a fake gun, BB gun, but it looks pretty scary.
As the call progresses, Naomi explains that she had watched him enter a nearby business, where one of the windows appeared to have been broken. She wasn't sure if anything illegal had happened at this point, but she was convinced that Noah was up to something sinister, which based on what he had in his possession, seemed to be the only logical conclusion. However, this concern wasn't felt by everyone.
Okay. And you said it looked like a long gun, correct? Like a rifle?
Yes,
Well, it is an open carry state, so he can have a weapon with him or walking around with it, but of course having those gas cans, it does seem pretty suspicious, so we're going to keep the call going for that.
Okay, and the window's broken to that business downstairs, so...
Right, and you said he's now upstairs, correct?
Yes,
And are you or anyone else in immediate danger?
No.
Okay.
As the operator seemingly brushed aside the incident, stating that she was only keeping the call going because the gas cans could be suspicious. However, even with that, the report still wasn't taken seriously, as the dispatcher hung up on her shortly after, before dispatching one single officer to the scene, an officer that never even made it there, as just moments later he was called off and sent to what was deemed to be a more pressing scene at the local senior center. Naomi's concerns were completely ignored, But despite this, she continued to watch out
Oh
her
my God,
window,
what's gonna
waiting
happen?
to see what Noah would do next.
Oh my
4
God, he's
minutes
gonna
after her
burn
call
down
with
the
police
house.
ended,
He's gonna
and
burn
10 minutes
everything.
after first reporting Noah's behavior, Naomi would dial 911 once again. Only this time, her demeanor was far different.
Oh shit!
I just called a few minutes ago and the guy came back out and he fired a gun at somebody and he's laying on the street dead. Oh my God. You sent an ambulance too.
Naomi's worst fears had come true, as she frantically told dispatch that the man carrying the gun had just shot and killed someone outside of her home.
Oh my God.
Okay, calm down, okay? Stay with me. I'm just putting that into the call center. Is anyone in immediate danger?
No, that I can see or no.
In response, the operator bizarrely asks if anyone else is in danger, but Naomi, likely in a state of shock, answers no, before immediately realizing that Noah was heading in the direction of Platt Avenue, which was known to be a busier neighborhood.
Maybe on Platt Avenue there might be people in danger.
Naomi, I need the suspect's description. Do you know his name?
Oh
No, I
my
don't.
God!
White,
He's
black, Hispanic,
He's
Asian?
white,
trick or
and he's got long
treating.
curly hair coming out of his cap.
She desperately tried to relay that more people were likely in harm's way, only to be immediately proven right just seconds later.
I think, yeah, there's people outside that might be in danger up on Platt.
Okay.
Oh, I just heard another gun fire. Oh my God.
When she hears more gunshots, prompting the operator to once again ask,
Yeah, they need to call an ambulance or something right away.
Okay. Is anyone in immediate danger?
Only people up on Platt, maybe.
All right, I am sending the paramedics to help you now. Stay on the line and I'll tell you exactly what to do next, okay?
Okay.
it was only then that the operator would tell Naomi that police and medical personnel were finally being dispatched to the scene. But by this point, it was far too late. In the moments after Naomi had made her first 911 call, Noah Harpham would first attempt to light his house on fire using
that's
the
what I
2
was
cans of
wondering.
gasoline. Though this, however, failed and caused him to quickly shift his focus. Noah instead
How the fuck do you fail? Sorry, huh? Wait. Huh? Okay, I'm not even.
Instead stepped outside and brandished his rifle, immediately pointing it directly at Andrew Mayers, who had been riding his bike in the neighborhood. And after seeing the gun, the man stopped and begged him not to shoot, to which Noah responded by pulling the trigger multiple times, killing him instantly, with Andrew Myers being the man that Naomi had seen laying dead on the street. From there, Noah began walking up the street, where he would eventually see 2 women sitting on the porch of a sobriety center, where local women went to get help with their drug and alcohol addictions. And upon noticing them, he immediately started shooting,
Damn, that's
striking and killing
fucked.
both Christina Galella and Jennifer Vasquez.
That's fucked.
Noah walked for over a mile after this before the police finally caught up with him. And when they called out for him to stop walking, Noah turned and immediately opened fire, leading to a massive shootout. When the smoke cleared, the only one struck had been Noah, who was lying dead on the pavement, marking the end of his killing spree.
Holy shit.
The investigation that followed revealed that Noah had never even met any of the 3 people he killed that day. They were all total strangers, leaving the question, why had he done it? Well, even today, there's still no clear motive, with this appearing to be a completely random and senseless act. But looking at his final and only posts online, Noah was clearly very angry and seemed to be mentally unwell, which was corroborated by testimony from his parents, as they later claimed that he had anger issues and suffered from drug addiction and bipolar disorder. But what's so unusual about this to me was that this video was published just 2 days before the killings, and it was clearly not meant to be a one-off post. It was something that he seemed genuinely excited to continue, yet not even 48 hours later, he resorted to this. What happened in that time frame may never be known, but the effects of it will last forever. And I can't help
The
but wonder how
father's
differently this all
covering
could
it
have
all up.
gone if that initial 911 operator had just taken Naomi's report seriously.
For
Noah's
real.
spree didn't start for a full 10 minutes after she started that call, which would have been more than enough time for police to intervene. But instead, Noah was given all the time he needed to end 3 innocent lives.
Dumb. Stupid. Chapter 4, the dead. I don't even know how to read that.
It wasn't an attraction for the faint of heart.
I don't know. Rope. Oh
Standing
my
over
god.
1,300 feet
Stop. No, don't tell me this fucking rope shit breaks. No, stop. Or this fucking thing fall. Stop. No, because I actually always wanted to get on one of these fucking things. Stop, you're gonna make me not want to.
Above the ground, the Deogar ropeway was built to take tourists up and down the Trikut mountain in Jharkhand, India. It was the tallest cableway in the entire country, offering an unparalleled view of Deogar and the picturesque landscape around it. Because of this, videos have long since been posted on YouTube showing just how dramatic of a ride this truly is, with one such video being recorded on April 10th, 2022.
Okay, never mind, I don't like that. Why is it swaying so much?
That day, a woman and her family had been filming their adventure to the Trikut mountain, and were now filming a first-person view of the descent back down.
I don't like that!
It wasn't the kind of place for anyone with a fear of heights, and the loud sounds of the car passing the support towers only added to the anxiety of the trip. But the group filming this all remained relatively calm, quietly conversing to themselves, seemingly unfazed by the spectacular height.
That's a little too high for me.
Even enjoying it. A feeling that wouldn't last.
No, stop. Shut the fuck up. Stop! Stop!
Without any warning, the car was met with a massive force, sending the occupants and the camera to the floor, causing the footage to go dark. In that moment, one of the ropeway's axles had dislodged, causing a failure on the pulley system, which resulted in 2 carts crashing into each other, and the rest coming to a sudden and violent halt. The impact was brutal, but somewhat surprisingly, the footage continued. Showing just enough to reveal that the ropeway and the cabin these people were in were both still intact, before the recording came to an end. This group had survived the impact, but the nightmare was far from over.
Oh, not being up there?
News of the collision quickly spread throughout the region, leading to the scene being flooded with rescuers and news crews alike, with everyone trying to figure out what exactly was happening, and the initial prognosis was grim. In the impact, 1 man in a separate car had been killed, and many others were left injured. And making matters worse, due to the broken axle, the ropeway was now no longer operational, meaning that the 70+ people spread throughout the various cars were now stuck, some of whom were still suspended over 1,000 feet in the air. It was going to be an incredibly difficult rescue operation, just given the height of the ropeway alone.
Okay, so I think this is gonna be having. This is gonna have to be the plan. You're gonna have to get the people from the very bottom first, that are the closest to the bottom. Get the people that are from the bottom, that are closest to the bottom first. Get them off, and then go to the top, and get the people that are the closest to the top. Get them up there, put them there, and then the hard part is gonna have to get the people from the middle. I don't know how you're gonna do that. Fucking giant ass ladder, fucking giant ass plane, fucking helicopter.
And ultimately, it was determined that the Indian Air Force would utilize their special top-of-the-line helicopters to fly over the cars and lower down ropes with harnesses attached to them for survivors, who then would strap themselves in and be hoisted up to the helicopter above using an electronic winch. It took hours for them to even make their first attempt, before finally trying their approach on a middle-aged man, who slid on his rescue strap and was then slowly pulled up towards safety.
Oh, fuck that. Stop, you're gonna drop him. Oh my god. What the fuck are you doing?
The footage of this is horrifying. These people were already over 1,000 feet in the air when their cars got stuck, and now they were being lifted even higher, tethered only by a single rope and a safety harness. Worst of all, it was a particularly windy day, which was made worse by the swirling of the helicopter blades, a combination that caused the man to start swinging wildly from side to side as he hung onto the rope for dear life.
Please! Stop. Take him. Get him. Please get him. Please get him. Stop.
It was a grueling journey up, but finally the man reached the aircraft. And with safety just a few feet away, he instinctively reached his arms above his head in an attempt to grab onto the helicopter.
No, he
a decision that would have disastrous effects. As he did so, his harness slid upwards and was pulled over his shoulders, and then over his arms, before eventually landing in his hands, meaning the only thing left holding him up was his own grip, as he clung to the now useless harness.
Someone grab him!
For a full minute, he dangled there, just inches away from rescue. Meanwhile, the rescue crew searched the craft for something they could use to safely hoist him in, but before they got the chance...
You're kidding. He died. Stop, bro.
The man slipped out of his harness, momentarily catching himself on the side of the helicopter itself, but by this point, his strength was gone, and seconds later, his grip would fail for good.
This is a horrible mission, bro.
Causing him to plummet approximately 2,000 feet to the ground below.
Even
killing him
higher
instantly.
from the, oh my god, even higher from the initial fall that he
For those
would've
waiting
fell
to be
from.
rescued, the sight was especially horrific,
That's
as they watched the
fucked.
man who they thought had made it to safety fall to the ground right in front of them. The fear they must have felt knowing that soon it would be their turn
Oh,
is
hell no.
unimaginable.
I'll be like, fuck
After
no, I'm
this,
staying
the
up
rescue
here.
crews began making tweaks to their operation,
Thank-
which started to lead to a few attempts going off without a hitch. But the entire process was incredibly slow, as a full 24 hours would pass before 60-year-old Shubha Devi would finally get her chance to be removed from the car. And as she started her ascent up to the helicopter, the wind also caused her to start swinging wildly. So wildly, in fact, that the winch used to lift her suddenly stopped working, leaving her hanging there, only moving side to side rather than up towards safety. As she hung there, rescuers on the helicopter frantically tried to figure out what the problem with the winch was. But before they could ever get their answer, the rope
Bro!
suddenly snapped, causing her to free fall to the ground below. It came without any sort of warning, and from what I can find online, there isn't a definitive answer as to how this happened, but either way, it resulted in Shubha's tragic death. It took a total of 48 hours for the last of the survivors to be rescued and finally brought to safety, an unimaginable amount of time in an unimaginable position, with survivors
God,
having to
show the
watch
video.
2 people fall to their deaths before them, unsure if they too were going to meet the same fate. Since its release, the footage has sparked some debate online, as the media actually hailed this as an impressive and even successful rescue operation for the Indian Air Force. While others have hit back on this, as both incidents seem to have been entirely preventable, with more people dying from the rescue than the accident itself. Though ultimately there were no repercussions for the rescue crew, with the only punishments being dished out to the operating company DRIL, which was accused of not properly maintaining the ropeway and not following proper safety protocols. It was even alleged that when the initial crash happened, the people operating the ropeway at the time actually fled the scene and never even called authorities. But I'm not sure if this was ever actually proven.
What are we talking about?
DRIL was fined over $1 million and has since been blacklisted from operating ropeways for 5 years, while the families of the deceased were given around $33,000 in compensation.
Should be a little
Currently,
bit
there are
more,
plans
but
to
still.
repair and reopen the ropeway, though at this point, no official date has been given for the reopening.
Damn. Nick Cannon, you know how to make a video. If you guys enjoy, like, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.